Yeah, good evening, Sindhu. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, could you please inform to your friends also to join quickly so that we can start the session early and end it early? Yeah, good evening, guys. We'll wait for a few more minutes. Did you inform to your friends also? Yeah, everyone, welcome to the day 4 of the Python Bootcamp. We'll start the session without any delay. We have waited enough time. Is your friends are there to join? Yes, please inform to them and also share in your personal friends group. Yeah, these are the contents for today's session, that is NumPy, pandas, and data frames. And trust me, guys, today's session will be very easy. And coming to the NumPy, it is a Python library, and pandas is also Python library. The libraries in these two should be installed in the Python, like in our PyCharm IDE. Is my voice audible? Can you please type yes? Is my voice audible, guys? Yeah, okay, thank you. And coming to the NumPy, it deals with the arrays and will also perform some operations related to the matrices. And coming to the pandas, it performs the functions like data processing, exploring. It deals with the huge data. If we take an project which is related to data science or machine learning, in such projects we need to deal with the huge data set. Here, huge data sets refers to the like it contains thousands of rows and columns. So to process those data, we need these two libraries. And coming to data frame, it is an attribute available in the pandas library, which converts the raw data into the good table format in the rows and columns format. Yeah, please make sure you have paper and pen with you. We have some important points to be noted. Coming to NumPy, actually, what is the need of using this NumPy library? It is a Python library which works with the arrays. Actually, its complete name is Numerical Python. In short, we call it as NumPy. And as I told you, it works with the arrays. Now, what is mean by arrays? Please note this. What is mean by array? Array is a collection of the same data type. Like it consists of the elements of same data type. It is different from list, whereas in list, as we discussed earlier, it contains the elements of different data types. Like a list can contain integer, float, and string in a single variable, but in array, it should be of the same data types. Like if you have int, then everything in that array variable should be int data type, or else completely it should be float, not a combination of int and float values. Okay. And then coming to the use of NumPy. As I said, the operations on list and NumPy are somewhat similar, but why we are preferring NumPy is the processor, whatever will undergo in the list, are very slow. But NumPy, it is 50 times faster than the list. This is an important point. NumPy can process the operations 50 times faster than the list. Why? Because it is designed in a way that it can be meet the latest CPU architecture. So that's why it is faster than list. And I told you before, we deal with the huge data. So when we are dealing with the huge data, the processes, everything should be very fast. So to get a fast and efficient output, we use the NumPy instead of list. And then these are the operations we perform in NumPy, like accessing elements, slicing, and shape. And this transpose identity matrix, these are the operations in the related to the matrix. Coming to the advantages, it consumes less memory. Why it consumes less memory is the arrays will allocate the memory for the variables at the runtime only. So when we are initialize only at the runtime, it allocates the memory. So it consumes a less memory. And I told you it is fast compared to the list, and it is very easy to use because it is a already available library. We are just installing it and we are importing in our code. Coming to the installation of the NumPy. This is the command pip install NumPy. This you need to type in your terminal. Here pip is a keyword or the command which is used to install or uninstall the packages. Here we are to install the NumPy, we are using pip install NumPy. So all the related packages and modules will be installed in our system. And then once it is installed, we need to import that library in our code. Like this is the general syntax to import a library. There is a keyword called import followed by its library name. The library name can be anything like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, anything. Here we are installing the NumPy, so we are importing NumPy. Is everyone clear about the NumPys? Should I repeat again? Can you guys please respond in the comments? Yes, nothing but NumPys are faster than list and it deals with the arrays. And it is a Python library. Next, coming to pandas. As you can see the image here, here we are representing the data like raw data in a good format with the rows, columns and index values. So whatever the huge data, if we represent like this, then it will be very easy to process it. Okay, I'll repeat it again. Coming to NumPy, it is an full form is numerical Python. It deals with arrays. Arrays means collection of same data types. And these are the advantages. It is very fast and consumes less memory. So that's why we are using it for the huge data set processing. These are the operations. I'll execute it. Then you will get a clear idea. And coming to pandas, it performs operations like analyzing, cleaning the data, and manipulating the data. We have a attribute called data frame. Data frame means it is a two-dimensional data. Two-dimensional data refers to it contains the rows and columns. It is very much useful in the data science and machine learning projects. Now, for the installation of pandas, it is again the same. Pip is a command to install the packages. Pip install pandas. If you want to uninstall any package like pandas, if you want to uninstall pandas, you can use the command like pip uninstall pandas. Now, once it is installed, the next step we want to do is to import those libraries into our code. That is, we will use the import keyword followed by its package name, that is pandas. This is just a brief introduction about the concepts we are going to discuss. The execution part will be very easy. Is it okay till here? I'll end this and I'll share my screen. We'll jump into the execution part. Guys, can I move on to the execution part? Yeah, okay. I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, thank you for your reply, guys. Yeah, can you see the screen? I hope you can. And I'm creating, today is a new day, that is day 4. I'm creating a new directory. I'm going to file, I'm clicking, right click on the project new and go to directory. I'm giving it as day 4. And then right click on that, create a new Python file. First, we are going to discuss about the arrays. Let's say about NumPy. And guys, make sure that you don't give the exact package name as your file name, because when you are importing, it will point out to the file instead of the package. So give it as numpy1 or something like that, not the exact keyword we are using to install. Next, first, as you can see in the left corner, you can see a option like terminal. Click on that. We have two ways to install. I'm explaining you the first way. We have a command like this, pip install numpy. After writing this command, click on enter. So it will install all the required. I have already installed it, so it's showing as requirement already satisfied. If you are installing it for the first time, it will show as successfully installed. You have one more way to install other than the terminal. Just note the steps. First, go to the main menu, that 4 bars there. Click on that, go to File, and then go to Settings. File, Settings, and now here you can see a option like Python interpreter. And here you can see this option. This is another way to install. You can do it in the terminal or in this format also. This is an advantage of the PyCharm IDE. Like you can type your required library, NumPy, and here you can also select its version. I'm going with the latest version and click on install package here. I'll explain it to once again. Go to file, then settings, then Python interpreter. Then you can just click on this plus icon. Then you can enter your required library name. You can specify its version and click on NumPy. You can click on this install package. The package will be installed. Now the NumPy is already installed. The next step is we need to import it by using the import keyword. Import NumPy. I'm using a shortcut for this like as np. You can also, when you are using this library, we need to type numpy.array like that. I don't want to type the complete numpy, so I'm just using it as a I'm giving a shortcut name to that, that is np. You can give any shortcut name like ss. Just remember what shortcut you are mentioning. Is the installation clear for everyone? For mobile users, you can also go for the same process. Click on the menu, you can see the terminal there, and you can click the pip install numpy. It takes some time for mobile users. Is the installation clear, guys? Yeah, okay, thank you. Now we are going to write off first array. We are creating an array. I'm taking a variable called arr equals to. Here I have installed numpy as with a shortcut name np. So I'm using np dot array. Array is an method available in the numpy which converts the given list into the array data type. Like I'm giving some values 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. As and now it is a one dimensional array. Hence it consists of only a row values. Now let's print this array. I click on the file name and click on run. As you can see, our values which are given in the list are printed. Now let's know its type. Print to know the type, we have a method that is type of what you for which variable you want to find the type, that is arr variable. Now let's see. Yeah, as you can see, as I explained you earlier, whatever the elements which are present in the square brackets are considered as list data type. But here when we print its type, we are getting numpy.nd array, which means this array method converting this list into array. This is like some typecasting. Okay, now our list is converted into the array. Now as I said you, it is a one dimensional. If you want to know is an array is one dimensional or two dimensional, you have a keyword that is ndim. Now this command will lets you know about the dimensionality. And I'll print this. As you can see, it consists of only row values, so it is one dimensional. I'll also give the two dimensional and three dimensional, then you can get an idea. Taking another variable, array1 equals to same process, numpy dot array. This numpy it only deals with the numeric values, guys. Now previously we have given the one dimensional. Now I'm giving the two dimensional data. It is list 1 comma 2 comma 3. Neither that is 4 comma 5 comma 6. As you can see here now, this first list is considered as the first element, and this second list, complete list, is considered as the second element. This list has an index of 0, and now this 4 5 6 list has an index of 1. Now let's print its dimension. 1 dot ndim. Let's run this. Yeah, as you can see here. Okay, I'll print this, then we can know. RR1. Yeah. As you can see here, now this 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6 is visible in the format of rows and columns. There are 2 rows and 3 columns. So that's why when I print its dimensionality, it is showing us 2. Next, I'll take another three-dimensional array. Array dot 2 equals to np dot. If you want to use any method in the numpy, you must compulsorily type np dot. So you can see these are all the methods available in the numpy. I'm using array one. I'm giving the three-dimensional ladder, that is 1 comma 2 comma 3. And next, and then 7 comma 8 comma 9. Yeah, I'll print this. Let's also print its dimension. Run. As you can see in this three-dimensional array, we have 3 rows and 3 columns. So its dimensionality is 3. Yeah, this is the code to know it, declare the different dimensions like 1 dimension, 2 dimension, and 3 dimension, and know its dimension. Is it clear, guys? Next, we can go into the operations like indexing, finding its shape, and slicing. Yeah, can I continue? Or should I repeat anything? Here we are just declaring the arrays and printing its dimensionality. Is it clear, guys? Yeah, okay. Next operation is indexing. Now let's take a new array. P dot array. Let's take till 7. And then I want to print the first element. That is, I want to print 1. The index position for 1 is 0. As we discussed, the index position starts from 0. I want to print first element, that is 0. It is similar to the operation in list. Yeah, as you can see here, I got 1. If you want 7 to print, that is -1. Yeah, we got 7. And next, now this is a one dimensional. We will work on the two dimensional. A1 equals and comma 2. And then two dimensional means we need to give 2 elements of list. And 6, 7, 8. Okay, now I want, as I told you before, this complete list has an index of 0 and this complete list has an index of 1. Again, in this list, for this, as usual, we have index position for 1 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, in this list, you have index position of for 6 it is 0, for 7 it is 1, 2, 3, so on. If I want to print the element in the first list, I want to print 2. How we need to access it is array 1 of, I want 2 which is present in this first list. So the index position of the first list is 0. So in that first list, I want to access number 2. So the index value of 2 in this list is 1, right? For 1 it is 0 and for 2 it is 1. I'm typing 1. Let me give some data here. We are printing second element in first row. This is first row and this is second row. Let me run this. Yeah, we got 2. If you want to print 4, like now the index position 4 is present in the first row. So the index position of first row is 0 as usual. And the index value in that list is 0, 1, 2, 3. So we are printing 3. So we got 4. If you want to access the element in the second row, that is, let's take fifth element. So this is the second row. Now we are 1. So this is the second row. So the index value for the second row is 1, comma. I want the fifth element, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's take the last element, 4. You can give here 4. Yeah, we got 10. Instead of 4, you can also give here -1. Yes. Let me print the actual array. Yeah, as you can see, this is the first row. So that's why its index value is 0. And this is the second row. That's why here we are mentioning the index value of 1. So if you want to access any elements in this between, you need to definitely first specify its row value and then you can go into the element index value. I hope you are clear. Next, if I want to find its shape, shape is nothing but it is a matrix, right? The shape and it is a combination of rows and columns. So I want to print the shape of this array 1. I need to use a method or a function called shape. Now I'll let you know how many rows and columns are present in array 1. So as you can see, these are 2 rows and we have 5 columns. That's why the shape is 2, 5. I'll just comment it, rows and columns. It's like the knowing the size of the matrix. And then if you want to reshape, let's take a new variable, array equals to reshape is nothing but if you want to convert a one dimensional to the two dimensional, we will use the reshape command. Array, I'm taking a one dimensional data. Right. Let's take fill 12. Then I want to reshape it in the size of 4, 3, means 4 rows and 3 columns. For that, new array equals to our array name dot. For the reshape, we have function called reshape. In that, you need to specify in how many rows and columns you want to reshape this one dimensional data. I want in 4 rows and 3 columns. In array. And after reshaping, also I'm printing the array so that you can know the difference whether it got reshaped or not. Print new array. Okay, I will run this. Yeah, as you can see, this is a first one dimensional elements which are present in the ARR. And now I'm reshaping it to 4, 3 size. That is 4 rows and 3 columns. We reshaped this one dimensional into the 4 comma 3 shape. You can change the rows and columns, but make sure it contains these 12 elements because we gave 12 elements here. And next, is it clear, guys? These are the like basic operations we also perform in list, but here we are using for the matrices. Does anyone have any doubts till now? We have performed shaping, reshaping, and access the elements inside the arrays, and also find its dimensionality till now. Should I repeat anything? Okay. Now the next operation is slicing. Yeah, slicing is just if you want to get the selected elements from the list, we use slicing. We already created enough arrays. Let's print. We have and for indexing, like for accessing the elements and for slicing, after giving the variable name, use the square brackets. I want to print from 1 to 5. Yeah, we got elements from 1 to 5. This in we got from 2 because we have mentioned here 1, right? If we mention here 0 to 5, then we will also get one value. We got 2, 3, 4, and 5. Similarly, you can also give one more type, that is starting point, ending point, and this is its step size. The step size means the step size starts from 2, then we will get the alternate values. I'll just run this. Yeah, you can see here we have 12 elements, like I'll take till 12. Now, as you can see, this is the original values, like from 1 to 12 without any missing values we have in sequence. But here we are using a step size of 2. Now we will miss one value and we will get the alternate value. Here we got 2, the 3 is missed, and we got 4, 5 is missed, and 6, and so on like that. I'll just comment here start point, end, and step size. Next, if you want to convert a data type into another data type, as I told you earlier, array contains only the data types of single. Like here we gave all the elements which are related to the integer data type. We didn't give any float in this, or we didn't give any string data type in this. It is a collection of homogeneous data type. Now for converting data type, let's take an array equals to now I'm taking float values 1.1, 2.1. Now I want to convert this float values into int. Then how we will perform in NumPy is we have a keyword, have a method that is called as type, and it takes input, like it's like type explicit typecasting. New array 1 equals to an array dot as type Now these are float values. I want to convert in int. So I mentioned here int. There is an alternate approach also for this. Because instead of writing int, you can write this I. Now I'll print this new array. Let's see if the float values are converted to int or not. Run. Okay, let's know its data type. Print new array one dot d type. It is an another method to know the data type of the elements inside the array. Let's run this. Yeah, as you can see, here we gave the like decimal values, float values. Now, after the typecasting, that is as type, here we have mentioned we need to convert this float into int. So we got the new array data type as int. I'll print this data type also, then we'll get a clear understanding. Yeah, initially this is float, and after using as type, it is converted to int. You can also similarly convert into boolean also. New array is equals to uh, n array dot as type bool. I'll just print this new array. And I also print this type. Dot data type. Yeah, we got in the form of bool. Like I have told you, it is true or false. It has only two. Can evaluate the expressions in only true or false statement. As you can see, these are all our actual values. There are no zero. That's why there is no false. If there is zero in this, you will get the false value. We'll give it here 0, 0.3, 0.0. Let's give like this. Yeah, as it is here 0, so that's why I got false. How about 32, ma'am? 32. So here you are asking about the int. This is the number of bits allocated for the to run that in data type. Like in backend, we have number of bits. Like for if you take an example, for each clock cycle, these many number of bits will be what processed in the processor, right? And for float, it takes 64 bits, and for int, it takes 32 bits. And then we can also perform arithmetic operations in matrices. Like in maths, we will perform the matrix addition, matrix subtraction. We can do that here using the coding, arithmetic operations. Let's take np not array. Just taking the small values. Another variable, create another two-dimensional array, that is 7, 8. Now I want to perform addition of these two arrays. For that, I have a command called add in NumPy. Just print add equals to comma. Now I want to perform addition, that is np dot. Why? Because this add is present in NP. If we don't type NP and we'll just give add, it is not a valid function available. So it is only available in NumPy. That's why NP dot add. Now I want to add the two arrays, that is X and Y. So the addition will take place between these two arrays. I just print X and Y. I will just run this. You can see this is the first array which is present in X variable, and this is the second array, and this is the resultant. Addition is performed. Similarly, you can also perform multiplication and subtraction and division. Equals to, for multiply we have a command in NumPy, that is multiply. I want to multiply the contents in X and Y. Similarly, you can do for division. NP dot, here we have a function called divide, comma y. You just run this. So this is the output. Perform the matrix multiplication between the two arrays, and this is the output for the division. Next, the arithmetic, we can also perform subtract in that. Next, we also discussed then operations like dot product, cross product, and if you want to print an identity matrix, we will perform every operation. Values like 1, 6, 5. Another variable at 2 equals to need to mention here NP dot here to NP. Next, I want to print its result, that is NP dot. We are performing the dot product, right? So we have a already defined method, that is dot, and then I'll give the variables, that is mat1 and mat2. So this will perform the dot product between these two arrays. Mat1 dot mat2. Let me just review this. Similarly, for the cross product, you can use the command like dot cross if you want to perform the cross product. Two-dimensional. Getting an array. Shapes 2, 3 is not aligned. Wait a minute, guys. P dot array. Okay, we'll see the other one. I'll let you know this. I'll just comment it here. The next one is transpose. We can do the identity matrix also, like identity and p dot identity of 3. Here 3 represents the 3 cross 3 matrix. I'll just print it. As you can see, the identity matrix, there are ones in the main diagonal. So this is called an identity matrix. You can also give here 4. So it will give you a 4 into 4 matrix of diagonal values of ones. Next, if you want a matrix which is full of zeros, then it is known as a zero matrix. Print np dot zeros of 5 comma 5. Now it will print a row with rows 5 and columns 5 with complete zero values. What happens? np dot zeros and comma 5. Let's give it to a variable called t equals to, and then now we'll print t. Let's run this. Sorry, we need to give two ways here. Now let's run this again. Yeah. As you can see, it created a 7 rows and 5 columns with completely zero values. If you want a complete one matrix, like matrix with complete ones, the same process that we are using here, ones, np is equals np dot ones, and then t comma 2. I'll print a1. So double braces. Should give a like 3 rows and 2 columns with complete ones. AP1, P1. Oh shit. Where is numpy? I want to print once, right? Let's try this. Okay, I'm not reflecting it. Now these are some operations in the numpy. Is it clear, everyone? Yeah, the power is off. Okay, I'll next solve. This is all for the numpy, and then that is pandas. Now let's create another file for this pandas. It is operations. One second, guys. Yeah, there is a power cut here. It takes some time to type. So first, to install pandas, we have a command, go to the terminal. Now same process, pip install pandas. Yeah, I've already installed earlier, so it showing us requirement already satisfied. Next, once it is installed, I can import that by using the import keyword. Now import pandas as PD. Here PD is an shortcut. Now let's give a variable. I'm taking dictionaries because I told you we are dealing with the projects related in data science and machine learning. There we have the data in the form of rows and columns. So it has some index value and also like row name, and below that we have the values, right? So for that I'm taking dictionaries. Let's say a subject max, and these are the marks that a student got in that subject, and 30. And we have another subject, let's say science. In dictionary, do you remember that this is the key and these are the values? You can also assign the values in the form of list. I'll give some values like 50, 50 and 75. Now I want to load the data into the data frame. Like I have explained you earlier, if you take this raw data and if you want to represent it in the rows and columns like in a table format, for that it is achievable by the using data frame. This load data into a data frame. Take a df. Now here we are install it as pd, so I'm taking pd dot data frame. Now into this data frame, I want to convert this data. So I'm giving data. Now let's print this. Sorry, didn't print it. Print df. Yeah. As you can see here, max is a key which is given as a row name. It is first column name, that is max, and next we got a column with the name science, and these are the values which are assigned. Here 0, 1, 2 is their index values. And now as I told you that 10 and 50 are the marks for the student 1. If you want to change these index values 0, 1, 2, to another index values, we can do that by changing here, comma, index equals to, in the place of 0, 1, 2, I want like, in the place of 0, I want student 1. In the place of 1, I want student 2. So I'll give that student 1, then student 2. We have 3 rows, right? So I'm giving 3 index names. Student 3. Now let's print this. Yeah, as you can see, instead of 0, 1, 2, we got the index names as student 1, student 2, and student 3. So now it is more readable and more understandable. Next. Now, if you want to print only the student 1 marks, then you have a keyword called lock, which means locate. Now let's print def.lock. I want to get access only the values of student 1. So I'm giving here student 1. So I'll only get the row values of student 1. Just run this. Next, if you want to merge 2 data frames, let me just give it this to an variable and then print it. Y equals to, now I'll print y. Let's merge 2 data frames. Let's take, for this you need to also import numpy. You can use the combination, you can combine both numpy and also the pandas to work on new applications. Say df1 equals to pd dot data frame. Let's take employee. And employees names, I'm giving it as Bob. And then Jake. These are the employee names. Now I'm specifying their group also, like their job roles. Now the Bob job role is accounts. Is an accountant. I'm just declaring as account. And then Jake is engineering. He's also an engineer. And next is finally HR. Okay, this is one data frame. Now I'm creating another data frame. That is again pd dot, to create a data frame we have a method called data frame, and then in this we need to give dictionaries. Now I'm taking with the same key value, but I'm giving the names in a different order. Lisa, and then Bob engineer, sorry, Jake and then 2. Next, in this data frame, I'm taking employees and also their hire date, on which date they got hired. Let's take hire date 2004, 5, 6, 2007. Because we have 4 employees, so we are assigning 4. This is some random data. Now I want to merge this df1 and df2. Let me just print that. First df1 and print df2. Now to merge, we have a command in pandas. Let's take df3 equals to pd dot merge df1 comma df2. I want to merge these two data frames. Okay, now let me just print this. Yeah. As you can see here, this is the first data frame which consists employee and their groups. And this is the second data frame that is which consists employee and their hire data. Now I want to club merge these two data frames, right? So the resultant one is employee. In the first one we have group column, so it is added here, and the next, this is the higher data is in another data frame, but we are merging it. So we have merged the two data frames by using Python. Do you have any doubts regarding this merging of data frame? Is it clear, guys? Sweta, which regarding the merging? Okay, clear. Okay, still anyone? I need more responses. Okay. Let me just try this again. No, it's still the same error. In pandas, I said that I'll tell you about the .csv datasets. There is a website called Kaggle where you can download the datasets. Those datasets can be also used in the machine learning and deep learning projects. So just go to Google and type Kaggle, and then you can find the dataset in the .csv format. Yes, CSV is comma separated values. So these are the huge data set which consist of like around hundreds of 150. We have 150 rows in this. Now, if I want to read this comma separated values file, that is .csv file, using pandas, like to read CSV files, I'm taking a variable. In pandas, I want to read CSV now. So there is a command called read CSV, and I have downloaded this iris.csv from the Kaggle website. So I'm just mentioning that name iris.csv. You can just uh, download it anywhere and you can just copy its path. Like you can have the path in C downloads and iris.csv. You can just copy that path and you can just paste it here. Now I have the file is read by the Python. I want to print the contents in that. So for that, I'm using the toString. No such file. Iris is not on. I'll just copy this path, copy this absolute path. You need to give these, change the slashes to the backward slashes. This is the location where my file is present. Okay, I'll download it again. I'll share my screen with. Okay. Let's go to the Kaggle website. So this is the interface of the Kaggle website. And here go to datasets and click here. Any dataset, iris pieces. You can select that and you can click on this download option. So the .csv format will be downloaded. You can just sign in. Using my account. You can use your Gmail account to sign in or even Facebook. Now you can download this. It is an open source. Kaggle is an open source where we can find the different datasets in the .csv format. We can also find the image datasets also. Yeah, it's downloading. Now I'll just copy this downloaded file in my PyCharm. Just give me a minute, guys. Copy. Just copying this file. Now let's run this. No such file is directly. Okay, I'll copy. This. Okay, now I've copied the .csv file in this directory, that is .csv. I'll just copy this path. I'll just run this. It should read actually. Okay, guys, do you have any doubts? That's all for today's session. I have a problem with the downloaded file. We'll execute tomorrow. Like we'll download a dataset again. I'll try to download another dataset and I'll just read it. And we can also perform data cleaning, like also perform the slicing operations in that huge datasets also. I'll just give a quick recap of what we have learned today. So we have installed two libraries, that is NumPy and Python. In NumPy, we have performed the operations, we have accessed the elements, and also we have performed slicing. Also find its shape. We didn't do the dot product. We'll do that. And also we have done the identity zero matrix. For transpose, you can also view, like there is a keyword like function name called transpose. What happens in the transpose is the rows will be converted to columns and the columns is converted to rows. Yeah, I'll update the attendance form. This is the installation process, pip install, and then after installation, we need to import. And in pandas, we have performed the operations like we have read a data, converted it data into the data frame, and also we have merged the two data frames. I'll quickly update the attendance form for you. Please fill the feedback form. Coming to your today's task, yeah, we have worked on the matrix, right? Just write a program to print the square of the matrix and then also perform a scalar multiplication. Yeah, scalar multiplication here refers to take a matrix A which have of size 3, comma 3 cross 3, like 3 rows and 3 columns. Multiply it with any scalar quantity like 2 or 3 that performs the scalar multiplication. And regarding the dataset, you can download it in from the Kaggle website, which is an open source website. Like printing its first 5 rows and last 5 rows. This is also comes under the data processing. You can print the first 5 rows by using the function called head. And if you want to get the last 5 rows, you can use the function called tail. Yeah, does anyone have any doubts? If you fill the feedback form, please type yes in the comments and take a screenshot of your today's task. Okay, Sidhu. Yes, guys, I will show the data. It got red now. Yes, guys, are you there? Can you please type yes in the comment section? We'll quickly just talk about the reading of .csv file. Yeah, as you can see, these are the data present in the iris.csv file. Now, if I want in the huge data, if I want to print the first 5 rows, then I'll go for print df1. Why? Because in this df1 variable, we are reading this iris.csv file, which contains the data about flowers, that is sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width, and also it gives the species. These are the contents about the flowers. Now I want this huge data, and you can see here we have 150 rows and 6 columns. I just want to print first 5 one, that is dot head. Yeah, as you can see, when I print df1 dot head, I can only see first 5 rows contents in the data set. If I want the last 5 rows, then I can print df1 dot tail. So now it will give the last 5 rows of the data set. Run this. So you got here the last rows are 150 is the last row. So by using head, you got the first 5 rows, and by using tail, you got the last 5 rows in the data set of iris data set. As your task, you can take download another data set from the Kaggle, and you can just print the first and last rows. These dataset is also used in your machine learning projects and data science projects. I hope everyone is clear about this loading of the dataset, like how you can see the dataset. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for your patience, guys. That's all for today's session. And tomorrow it's going to be very exciting. In the next session, we are going to build an website application by using Streamlit, where you can host the domain. It's going to be very interesting, and that's the last session. Yeah, if you have filled the form, I'll just end the stream. I'll end the meet. Is it okay for today's session, guys? Yeah, can you please let me know in the comments? Yeah, okay, thank you. I'm ending the meet. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Don't miss the next session. Yeah, bye.